You're looking at a live view of the Falcon Heavy on historic launch pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center, awaiting liftoff at 2:30 a.m. local time.
Ground gas closeout complete.
And the vehicle is in startup.
This is the mission director. Go for launch.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Vehicle's pitching downrange.
T plus 25 seconds into flight under the thrust of over 5 million pounds. Falcon Heavy is headed to space. We're getting ready to throttle down for passing through the period of maximum dynamic pressure. We've heard call out of throttle bucket for side core. We're through max Q.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Everything continuing to look good on the Merlin 1D engines. We're throttling back up on the side boosters to full power. We're 2 minutes into flight. We've begun to decrease thrust on the side boosters to minimize acceleration and loads on the Falcon Heavy structure. We've turned off one engine on each of the side boosters to decrease that load. Now our next major event coming up here in about 10 seconds, shutdown and separation of the side boosters. The view should be the side booster cameras on two sides and the center core in the middle.
Booster shutdown.
Booster separation confirmed.
Over the cheering in the background, it's going on midnight, but a lot of people here at SpaceX, side boosters have separated. They're getting ready for their burn back to Cape Canaveral. You can see on the left and right views, the side boosters have ignited. The center core continues under full power. Everything looking good on the Falcon Heavy. Next event coming up in about 15 seconds will be shutdown of the center core, followed by stage separation and ignition of the second stage engine. Good views of the two side boosters under the thrust of 3 engines each, slowing down their velocity and coming back towards Cape Canaveral. We have shutdown on the center core.
Stage separation confirmed.
We have successful separation and ignition. We're coming up on shutdown of the two side boosters.
Side booster, boost back shutdown.
And we've heard the call out side booster, boost back shutdown. Here comes fairing separation.
Cross ranger nominal. Fairing separation confirmed.
We have confirmation of the payload fairing separation. So far, 4 minutes, 17 seconds into flight. Second stage looking good, headed to low Earth orbit, carrying the 24 satellites.
Side booster entry burn startup.
And we have confirmation that the entry burn has begun. And in about 15 seconds from now, we expect that to end. Oh, wow. Hear the crowd cheer behind me. And that entry burn has completed. Note that second engine cutoff and the center core will be landing almost at the same time. So we're going to have a few events in succession at about T plus 8 minutes and 21 seconds. About 10 seconds away.
Side booster landing burn startup.
We've heard the call out for side booster landing burn startup, and there you see it on your screen. See it coming towards our 2 landing pads. Legs deployed. Incredible.
Side boosters are successfully landed. Landing operators moving to procedure.
Confirmed side booster landing. What an iconic view. We've also, at the same time, I believe we've had second engine cutoff at the same time.
If you're just now tuning in, we're just about 10 seconds away from that center core landing burn beginning.
Stage 1 landing burn has started.
And we have confirmation that the center core landing burn has begun. You can see that coming down on Of Course I Still Love You.
Center core landing burns are deployed.
Got a pretty good view. And as you can see on our screen, it looks like our center core did not make it on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You tonight. Again, as we've been mentioning, this was the most challenging landing that we've had to date. And this is our secondary mission. So our primary mission, we just heard the call out for a good orbit of our second stage.
It appears we have confirmation that the Oculus satellite was separated and P-Pod number 1 opened up, deploying the Naval Research Laboratory satellites. There's a view from space, and if you remember the view just before we left, on the bottom left was the Oculus satellite, had a white coloring to it, and it's no longer there. Now we're going to cover the last of the 8 P-Pod satellites that are coming up for deployment, and that's going to take about 30 minutes to get through this sequence. The next deployment comes up just before T plus 25 minutes.
P-Pod 3 deploy confirmed.
And confirmation, P-Pod number 3 has opened. Armadillo should be on its way into orbit in the vacuum of space. Next up will be a quick turnaround, only about 145 seconds until we get to the next deployment.
P-Pod 4 deploy confirmed.
And we have confirmation over the net from avionics.
HPK.
P-Pod number 4 has deployed. At the same time, we now have acquisition of signal over Hartebeestok, known as HBK, in Africa. And we've got about 165 seconds until P-Pod 5 opens up.
P-Pod 5 deploy confirmed.
We've heard the confirmation. P-Pod 5 is deployed. So we're through 5. We've got 3 more P-Pods to go. The last one will be deploying at T plus 50 minutes. So we've got another 16 minutes to get through this sequence.
P-Pod 6 deploy confirmed.
We've got confirmation over the net. P-Pod 6 deployer has opened. We should have the tandem beacon experiment satellite ejected. I was looking for it on the screen, but I didn't spot it. The white objects you've seen coming off to the right-hand side, those are not the CubeSats. Now the second stage is now maneuvering to get in position for the next deployment. That's going to come up in about 5 minutes from now.
P-Pod 7 deploy confirmed.
And we've got it a little late sounding, but we have confirmation. P-Pod 7 is open to deploy the second of the 2 beacon experiment satellites for the University of Michigan. And all I've got to say for that is go blue. We're 375 seconds to the final deployment of the P-Pod series.
P-Pod 8 deploy confirmed.
Deploy confirmed, and we saw it, at least I did, coming out of the top of the screen. So StangSat and Leo have successfully separated. And as a reminder, the Merritt Island High School team has been working on this project since 2011, according to their Facebook page. So after waiting a long time for a ride to space, we'll celebrate deployment with Go Mustangs! So we've gotten through the first set of satellite deployments. The Oculus SmallSat and the 8 P-Pods have all opened up. We've got a 21-minute break before we relight the second stage engine to change our orbit. So we'll be back with that. We're going to leave you with the animation that shows where we are in the coast phase, returning at T plus 1 hour, 12 minutes, just about 21 minutes from now, for the second burn of our upper stage engine. Seconds away from ignition.
Engine at power.
We've heard the call out. Engine is at power. This is planned to be about a 22-second burn. Throttling down the MVAC engine. And we heard a report we have good shutdown. And ladies and gentlemen, there we've got way out in the Atlantic, even farther away than the drone ship, Ms. Tree successfully with a payload fairing half. The second payload fairing half they've also spotted in the water, but we have accomplished the first landing on the net of a Falcon payload fairing half. So another first time accomplishment for the SpaceX team, especially out there in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
AOS Hawaii.
Prox 1 deploy confirmed.
And we did just hear confirmed over the nets that Prox 1 deploy was confirmed. Very exciting, another successful deployment. And in about 10 seconds from now, hopefully we'll hear the same thing and see it as well for NPSat. And there you see the release on your screen of NPSat, a successful deployment. And confirmed over the nets. Amazing.
Again, we will not be able to see this live since it is not in our camera view.
OTB payload deploy confirmed.
And we just got that confirmation for the OTB deployment.
Our next deployment is coming up in about 3 minutes, and this is for the Green Propellant Infusion Mission, or GPIM, which is a NASA mission that develops a green alternative to conventional chemical spacecraft propulsion systems. Once NASA demonstrates the fuel and compatible system in space, green propellant could replace hydrazine as the status quo spaceflight propellant. Not only will green propellant be safer, it will also be faster and much less costly. Again, due to the positioning of our camera, we are not expecting to see this deployment live either. But we can listen in for confirmation at about T plus 1 hour and 27 minutes. Hopefully we'll get that confirmation over the nets.
Confirmed.
And we have just confirmed, and we actually saw a little bit of confirmation, of deployment of GPIM satellite. We're now one step closer to changing the way we travel to and around space.
Well, T plus 1 hour, 27 minutes, 40 seconds, and the hits just keep on coming. Next up in about 4 minutes is the deployment of 6 Cosmic 2 satellites, the one closest to the camera. So we should have 3 good views, and there goes the first Cosmic satellite.
2 satellite 5 deploy confirmed.
Right on time, within a second or so of the timeline that was set up days ago, so everything looking good. Now the Cosmic satellites, as I mentioned, are mounted around the dispenser. Now if you remember again our Iridium missions, we had 2 cylinders mounted on top of each other, each holding 5 satellites. Now the design for STP-2 has 2 cylinders that hold the Cosmic satellites. There are 4 satellites on the lower cylinder, and there are 2 on the upper cylinder. We just saw one of them on the lower cylinder, satellite 5, separate. And of course, just like the Iridium mission, our camera cannot see all sides of the cylinder. So we had a great view just now of the first Cosmic deployment. But the next two coming up are out of view. Maybe, however, during the next 15 minutes, as we're maneuvering that second stage, we might get a glimpse of the larger satellites as the sun bounces off of them as we head towards evening over the Pacific Ocean. About 10 seconds to go. There it goes.
Cosmic 2, Satellite 4, deploy confirmed.
Cosmic 2, Satellite 4, the one we intended, is on its way into its own orbit. You can see a little bit of that round mounting ring where the satellite was attached to the dispenser that's attached on top of the Falcon Heavy second stage. So next up, we've got Cosmic 2-1. That one is on the back side. That'll be in 3 minutes. We won't be able to see it. And then we'll wrap up with Cosmic 2-3. So we're 4 down, 2 to go of the Cosmic satellites. The P-pods have all opened. They've deployed their CubeSats. The small sats have all deployed. So we've got 2 more Cosmics to go. And then if you can see at the top left of center, that large white flat panel, the very last satellite to be deployed, and that's still another couple hours away almost. That's the DSX satellite that'll cap off the mission. So that one's going to be there for a while, but we'll be bringing you that after we get through the 3rd and the 4th burns of the upper stage engine. But for now, we're going to sit back, watch the video from space, and prepare for Cosmic 2-1 deploy coming up in just over 2 minutes.
Cosmic 2, Satellite 3, deploy confirmed.
And we've heard the call out from avionics confirming what we all just got to see. Cosmic 2-3 successfully deployed. That makes 6 for 6 for the Cosmic satellites. Everything continuing to go well on the deployment sequence. Now we've had 23 satellites deployed, and we have just 1 more to go. But to get there, we have a couple of second stage engine burns to perform before we're ready to release that final DSX satellite into space.
Welcome back to our STP-2 mission. We are just less than a minute away from our 4th and final relight of our second stage, which will be the most relights in SpaceX history. Now this burn will last about 35 seconds long. And we're just about 2 seconds away from that. You can see that on your right screen, there's the second engine, second stage engine. And there you see second engine startup. Again, this will be about 35 seconds long. And this is the most relights in SpaceX history for a second stage.
DSX payload deploy confirmed.
And there you see it. What a beautiful image. 24 of 24. What a night. Jesse, we made it. I can't believe it. A night of historic firsts. John, take us home.
Well, T plus 3 hours, 34 minutes, 42 seconds since we lifted off from Kennedy Space Center, Complex 39A. It's been a bit of a marathon, but when you finish a marathon, you really feel good. We've had an outstanding mission tonight. We lifted off from 39A, turned night into day with the Falcon Heavy, over 5 million pounds of thrust. The center core went downrange, and we knew it was going to be the toughest mission ever for a center core. We did get the visibility of the drone ship camera, but we just missed the drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. However, the side boosters made up for that with a great return to landing zones 1 and 2 for the side booster. Wonderful landing there. Second stage went into orbit. We did 4 burns of the second stage. All of them were right on target. We did 24 payload separations. And then the icing on the cake tonight was the ability to get 1/2 of the payload fairing, as we were targeting, into the net above the ocean on our recovery ship known as Ms. Tree. So altogether, it's been a great, wonderful evening here at SpaceX. We'd like to thank our customer, the U.S. Air Force, for entrusting us with tonight's mission. We'd like to thank the 45th Space Wing for range safety, Kennedy Space Center for range support, and we'd also like to thank all our viewers for logging in. Follow our website and social media platforms for updates on our next missions and milestones. And until next time, have a good night.